Good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me at 7 o'clock this evening on a Thursday evening. Quite unusual for me to be on, but there are some things that I'd like to say, and sometimes the best place to say it is where it generally are. So I'm here this evening because I love Jamaica. I love my country, and I'm sure that you know that by now, by virtue of my visits, my philanthropic efforts, um, just the expression of the things that I do with the people that I do with, my trails, my traverse. I go all over the country and talk to a lot of people because I want to understand more about my country so that I can speak about it and speak on it. I read the news religiously every day, and you can never tell sometimes these days what is fake news and what is real news. The media houses are constantly correcting themselves on things that they have spoken about or they have written about each day. They tell you one thing today and then tomorrow it's something different. But what I've been able to do is to travel home to see for myself. Most persons don't have that luxury of getting up and go. And so what I have. And I feel very good when I have to go to Jamaica and spend time. And it doesn't matter what I do there. It is just a good feeling to be home. And I'm sure that anyone who goes to Jamaica will know that I am telling the truth. When you leave here and head to Jamaica and you get home, there's a peace that you don't find anywhere else. And you don't need money for it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty expensive to be there, I must tell you. But you don't need money to have the peace that you feel when you're there. And so, you know what? Let me go to. I need to find you on YouTube just to make sure that you're there. And because I want to talk to you, I want you to talk back to me when I'm speaking. So I'm on now, so I see that you're there. And so you have a peace in your heart when you get home, and it's because of possibly the love that you have for your country, the reminiscing, the reflections that you have. But I think mostly is that you're here in a whole lot of stressful situations, whether your bills are coming at you, people are coming at you, life is coming at you. This is where you live in the diaspora. And when you go back home, you want to forget everything that's there just for the time that you're there and live in peace and be in peace, not live in peace, but be there in peace. And so I feel honored sometimes when I get home because I get to go and talk to people here and talk to people there, talk to students, and it makes me feel good. Jamaica has changed, whether you want to believe it or not. Our culture has changed. Our lifestyle has changed. How we go about our business have changed. Our political system has changed. Our economic system has changed. And I'm comparing to what it was then and what it is now, because I've lived both sides of the coin. And I'm not telling you that anyone is better than the other. I'm just saying it's different. And so what many of us have been able to do is to transform ourselves into new life, into the new way of thinking, in the new way of doing and living, in Jamaica. And but it has changed tremendously. And I'll give you an example. I truly believe that if colonialism was still the order of the day in Jamaica, we wouldn't have the vibrant reggae music that we have. We wouldn't even have moved to rocksteady, because when we transferred it into reggae and dancehall and roots and culture, a lot of the Rastafarian were the people who actually transformed and translated our music into different ways, and we're able now to enjoy something that we weren't enjoying before in the 60s and 70s. A lot of people pushed back on the type of music that were coming out of the early 70s. A whole heap of people, a whole heap of Jamaicans, because some of the music was mostly brought to us by people who have dreadlocks. And so that has changed, because all of Jamaica now accept the Rastaman music. They accept the Rastafari culture, and it wasn't accepted before. But I believe that because of colonialism, if colonialism were there, the English is a group of people who want to feel like they live the perfect life, unlike any other country in the world. England thinks that the way they carry themselves they're perfect, and it's far from that. And so I believe that if they were there, they would be holding back the music, right? We had the ability to create, but I know for a fact that if those white people were still in Jamaica, they would be holding back the music. They wouldn't be playing it on radio. They wouldn't be doing, we couldn't talk patois. We couldn't talk our own culture on air. That was what was going on. So Jamaica has changed. When you go back, people on air talking patois all day long on the show, that never used to happen. So we have gotten a chance to look at ourselves in a different way over the years. So then that's what colonialism did. It helped us to be able to create our own destiny, to create our own music, to take our food and the naturalness of our food and create flavors and create various types of food that we're enjoying now that we never did before. We are running faster than ever. Not that we couldn't run before, because we had the potential, but a lot of what we were doing was held back. So our lives now, when we came out of independence, right? And for a long time, several years, we tried to live the same way that the colonialists lived before, because that was our life. And so we trickled our way, walked our way out of colonialism, and now, because we would have been depending on the Queen for guidance if we were there still, if we're still in colonialism, and we wouldn't have gotten where we are. So I'm giving thanks for we were able to give up that part of our lives, our culture, our country, and create something that's endemically ours. We, right? But if I were to look back, one of the things that we lost in all of this is a lot of honesty. I mean, I believe that there are still good people out there, and honesty is not. I'm not talking about you being truthful to me, and being honest with me. And I'm talking about the honesty of how we deliver leadership in our country, the honesty and fairness about how our laws are delivered to us, the honesty and the fairness about how what we're doing, what the police is doing, and what the people are doing with the police. There's a high level of dishonesty among how we are dealing with each other. We lost that. And I'll tell you why I say that. We are facing probably the worst time in our history in Jamaica. And it's because we have what is called high crime, high murder rates, high corruption. Those things, high crime, high murder rate, high corruption, those things must be controlled by the government. I don't care what none I want to say. High crime must be controlled by but when a country comes together, when a country is formed, the first thing that they put in place is a police force, right? A police force must be in place. And why? Because we need laws, coded laws on the books where everybody can live by, a standard that doesn't infringe on our personal life inside our homes, but a law that can allow us to live honestly with each other and do the things that we need to do to maintain society. All right? And so we are in a place now, when I look at Los Angeles and I look at the crime rate, no, the murder rate in Los Angeles, it is nowhere close. Los Angeles have how much people? 9 million people? 9 million people, right? And Jamaica have 2.8 inside of Jamaica. And we're busting 1,500, 1,600 murders per year. There's a reason why that happened. Even in Los Angeles' worst time in history in the 90s, they were doing 900 to 1,000 murders a year. We are at a point in our lives where crime, murders are out of control. And the only person who can control that is our leaders, who can come together and create a police force now and update and upgrade a police force that is effective. 2, create a court system that is effective, court system. 3, create a correction system. Update a correction system that is there to help out police. So we have the police system, we have the court system, and we have the correction system. That is law enforcement. No. We are a people. The reason why crime is so high, with murder rate is so high, is because the people who are committing murders don't fear the police. They don't fear the court. And they don't fear the lockup. Why? Because the deterrence is not there. Because nobody is afraid of being locked up because they're going to get back out. Nobody is afraid of going through the court system because they know so they either now go get there or they're gonna get released. And nobody's afraid of the correction system because we really don't have one that is very effective, right? Because in order for us to maintain a correction system. You talk about jail and prison and all of them things there. It needs enough money. If you have 200 people in a jail or in a prison, or you have 500 in a prison, it takes money to maintain them. Whether you give them bread a morning time, dumpling a middle day, or meat at evening time. The government has to spend money to feed people and to maintain the warden them in around, and to maintain the building with light. It costs a whole heap of money to maintain corrections. Now, do we have the money to upgrade, to get more prison, to get bigger prison, or to get places that people can go to prison and be there, be locked up, and go through bad times in prison? No, we don't have that. Maybe we do, whatever it is, but I don't think that we have the right one. So people not afraid of police officers, because sometimes our police officers, we can just give them $1 and them all right. So if you give a police $1 and you bribe him, right? Then what happens is that about, let me not make it that simple. Let me make it a little bit more complicated. A policeman happened to be up on a crime scene. Somebody moving drugs, for example, selling drugs. And the policeman see it and he make a move. But the person who is committing the crime says, "Chairman, here's $10,000. Turn the other way." At least three crime took place there. 3. And me, I'm not an expert, but me can figure out that 3. First of all, the person who was doing something illegal, selling the drugs, that was illegal, right? The next thing is that bribing a police officer is illegal, and the police officer being bribed is illegal. That's 3. So when a policeman walks away from a crime that's being committed, he's walking away from 2 crimes that's being committed. And if he does nothing about it, what will happen is that the next time the man see him, he'll give him money and he will keep the police quiet for a long time. And if many police officers are doing that, now I'm saying to you that a person who bribes or attempt to bribe a police officer should go to jail. Are we putting them there? I don't know. But I'm just saying, 3 crimes committed there, and we should not allow people to get away with that. All right. Let me see if I have any I'm going to take a break. Jan says, did we change for better or worse? Have we become a producer or consumer? I mean, all that might be important, Jan. I don't think we are better or worse because we have a totally different life. You know, I never came on here to say whether or not our life is better under colonialism. Our life, it don't really matter. Our life is our life, and we just have to go. And we become a consumer or a producer. That don't matter either. Whatever we are that we are making money from, it is what we are. The point is whether or not we have a system to maintain order. Do we have a system to maintain order? And I'll tell you, I was driving around Jamaica, and it don't take nothing for crime get bad, right? But I was driving around Jamaica several times this year. And one of the things that I see that is very, very popular is trash. Trash all over our country. All over our country, right? Now, I could look at that and say, oh man, that was trash. You drive down Kingston, downtown Kingston, every corner of trash on it. Enough trash. Someone was in Ocherios recently on Monday, this past Monday, and she said, put on Facebook, because I never posted anything trash because I was embarrassed, right? Really. Oh, you know something? The Prime Minister last week said he was embarrassed. So I don't post anything trashy on Facebook. But I'm talking about it now because it irritates me a little bit, right? It irritates me that one, the Prime Minister came out and said that he's embarrassed, right? And two, it embarrassed me because I saw my friend who posted about 3 or 4 different trash pile up in Ocherios, different spots. So I'm saying to myself, why is there so much trash all over the place? You know? And people are just walking over it and passing over it as though, you know, and I thought about something. Do you know that the natural instincts of human beings, the natural instinct, is that if I'm walking by and there's trash out there, I may eat a bun, right? And the trash, now I'm going towards the trash that's all over the street. But I am going to hurry up and eat the bun, put it in my mouth before I get to the trash. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw the trash down where the other trash is. The bun paper, I'm going to throw it down there. Because it's our instinct. Anytime we see trash, we make more trash. It's just the way it is. When we see trash, we make more trash. And so when I see people walk, by, me da rockabest, me da rockabest in front of me shim shop. And I saw in front of the shop whole heap of trash. And people walk by and just throw it on the street. And there's nobody to clean it up. And I'm wondering, what's going on? Why is there so much trash all over Jamaica? And it occurred to me that we must not have the money to buy a trash truck. Or we must not have the money to hire a truck to pick up trash. Or we must not have the money we must not have the money. Because if we have money and so much trash there all over the country, that is dissing the community. That is completely disrespecting the community. Because as leaders, we have the right, no, we have the responsibility to clean up the trash where people live and people walk. And I wonder if inside of the community where leaders them live, if trash they're all over the place like that. But in most other countries, like for America, for example, when you see trash, too many trash bins all over the place, dirty up the place, we have a choice. We can just move out to the community because we don't want to trash the spot we live, right? And if we live in a certain communities and it's full of trash, we expect crime to be there also. And so therefore, we just move out. And the people who can't move, soon they start lock up them place, and because the place too stink, and there's people out there that don't want what we want. They want to take our properties. And so it's important that we think about the trash that's all over Jamaica, because there are deeper issues that are there. If it's not money, if it's trash, and we have the Riverton dump, and we don't have the money to pick up the trash, it means that we don't have money for police. It means that we don't have money for teachers. It means that we don't have money for every other sector. We can't pick up the trash. Understand? Which means that no wonder we're not having enough money to pay our teachers and to pay our police officers, that what happens then is that people are going to take bribes because they have to live. Crime starts from that spot. If you remember what we used to say, if you lie, you thief. It starts from way back when the dishonesty among people, when it grows up. Because once upon a time, we never used to be around people who we consider thieves. We never used to like to be around people who tell lies. We never want to be around people who beggy. We call them beggy, right? We never want to be around those things. But everything is everything now, right? And what happened is, if it's money and we don't have money to get our police officers what they really need to do, then we have a problem. If it's not money, we have a bigger problem in our mentality. So we see crime and we just look the other way. We see crime and we look the other way. Or somebody, for example, talking to a friend of mine this morning, and this guy, who is a minister of government, call somebody else in another government, the opposition party, Bakramasa. And I don't think he understands what he just did. Bakramasa, slavery, enslaved people, black people, right? And you understand what? And if he doesn't get reprimanded, then everybody will start saying, oh, we can't get away with it too. We go ahead and see our ministers stealing money from the government, and we have to be accepting that these monies are okay, it's okay to steal from the government, then everybody ever do it too. Because if our leaders are doing it, they're not being honest, then everybody going to be dishonest. Jamaica has a tendency to depend on their government heavily. Okay, so whatever our ministers do, we feel that we can do and get away with it too. And so therefore, if our ministers are getting away with corruptive behaviors, a thief government money, and they might get away with it, they might call people Bakramasta and they will get away with it, they might do all these kind of things, and nobody is responsible, then what happens? It permeates the whole country, the whole people. Everybody, because nobody is being held accountable. Free for all. Can you imagine if this gentleman gets away with calling somebody Bakramasa, a leader in our country calling another leader Bakramasta? If he get away with it, think about who else somebody can get away with it. Think about all of the shootings that gone in our country and how many people gone to prison for them. I bet you out of those 1,600 persons who got shot and killed last year, who got murdered last year, I would like to know how many of those persons, how many of the killers got picked up? How many of them got put through the ringers? I want to know. It's funny. Oh, we are just allowing these things to go by. Every day there's something else happen, every day. And we're not catching anybody. Then therefore, if we're not holding our leaders accountable, if we're not catching our thieves and our criminals, then, anarchy. Free for all. All right. It's 7:30 and my time is up. But I thank you so much for joining me this evening. I needed to say that. And I hope that things get better in our country.